best music.
Show me capital business, show me character dickiness,
Season sport presentation.
Round 10 begins. If they complete this round.
Balanced and objective news reportage. And all-round entertainment. Listen to the jewel of the pack of radios in this class. Tune in to Radio Afinju right here in Oshobo, Osun State.
Ẹ bá mi pè o. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Rédíò Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp Àfínjú. Instagram Àfínjú. Facebook Àfínjú. Lórí X Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú.
For up-to-date tori wey no get filter.
Politics matter.
Sport.
Ya lo hace. Pierna derecha, directo al arco. ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo!
Culture. Naija and obodo oyibo music. Advertisement wey go reach your customer home and abroad.
This is incredible.
Na on top Radio Afinju you go hear am.
You can't be serious.
Na so. Radio Afinju be baba for all radio stations wey dey Osogbo, Osun State. Radio Afinju na better level for broadcasting.
Alrighty then.
Olókoòwò ẹ súnmọ́ bí. Ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ́ oṣù náà ẹ mọ̀ gbẹ̀yìn. Ẹ̀yin olókoòwò kéékèèké tẹ́ ẹ nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ owó ẹ tara ṣàṣà máa bọ̀. Ètò káràkátà lórí rédíò Àfínjú ni kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ gbọ́ báyìí o. Lórí ètò yìí ni wọ́n ti máa sọ ìmọ̀ràn fáwọn oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àtoníṣẹ́ oṣù. Ìròyìn látọjú ọjà náà ń bẹ ń bẹ láti mọ bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ káàkiri àwọn ọjà wa. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ owó fáwọn olókoòwò kéékèèké ò ní gbẹ̀yìn lórí ètò.
Ètò káràkátà máa gbìnà yá ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday lórí rédíò Àfínjú ní déédéé aago 12 ọ̀sán.
Ẹ wò ó ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ kágbọ̀n ìtọ́wò ni ẹ fi máa dùn ọbẹ̀. Ẹ lọ tẹ̀lé rédíò Àfínjú káàkiri àwọn àtẹ ayélujára kẹ́ ẹ lè jẹ mùkúntùn ètò káràkátà. Adédayọ̀ Dẹ́rínú ọmọ wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ kò jọmọ ó nù ni ó máa tọ́kùn ètò káràkátà. Ìdàgbàsókè ọrọ̀ ajé ló jẹ wá lógún.
Hey there, Super Kids! Are you ready for a ride of fun and learning? Get ready to blast off on Kids Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew on Radio Afinju every Saturday at 10 to 11 a.m. Listen to stories that will tickle your bones, games that will blow your mind, and music that will make you dance like no one's watching. There's also lots of surprises and gifts to be won. So gather your friends, turn up the volume, let's have fun and make awesome memories together on Kids Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew. Only on Radio Afinju. Yeah! Good morning, Ekaro, Ututoma, Inakwana. How are you doing this lovely Saturday morning? It's another exciting day here at Radio Afinju, and you know what time it is? It is 10 o'clock or a little bit past 10, and you know it is time for Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl and crew here at Radio Afinju, where we learn, we have fun, we entertain ourselves, we laugh a lot, we play games. There is so much that we do here on the show. My name is Pearl, but of course I'm not alone. By my right here I have... Oh, you guys swapped seats today. Interesting. Okay, by my right I have...
Mustafa Faladara Ewa Oluwa.
Mustafa Faladara Ewa is here once again on Kiddies Arena, and right beside Ewa I have...
My name is Sofiat Abidimi Azan, and you're welcome to another episode of Kiddies Arena.
Yes.
With Aunty Pearl and crew on Radio Afiju.
Good to have you ladies once again on the show, and to our wonderful audience, thank you for joining us once again. It's the end of the week, and I hope you've had an interesting week so far, especially for those that have resumed school. I hope it has been fun for you. I mean, I get how that can be. After a very wonderful Christmas and New Year celebration, you have to face your books once again. But I hope you're kicking in and you're settling in very fine. All right, so welcome to the show. And you ladies, how was your week as well?
It was fine. It was okay. But it took a while to get adjusted to things back after the break. Because I'm so used to sleeping in, but then I have to wake up earlier now.
You should have had a mental preparation, some sort of... Well, you've used everything to eat chicken, I guess.
I had a stressful week. Even this morning, the weather was so cold. I felt like
cold. I know what was even more funny was that it was cold as when I woke up and I took my bath, even when I left my house. But the moment I got here, everywhere suddenly became hot. I'm like, okay, I'm wearing a sweater. What am I supposed to do? But hopefully the weather, I don't know, the weather these days is just something else. But God will help us. So you're welcome on the show. If you're not already following us, I say welcome to the show. Yes, that was a very wrong grammar. So you're welcome to the show. If you're not already following us on social media, we are on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube. Turn on your notifications to be updated on all our interesting shows. Follow us on Facebook, as this show is currently streaming live on Facebook, where you can contribute to the conversation or to whatever it is we are talking about. You also get the chance to win gifts here on Kiddies Arena with Aunty Pearl. And as always, it is not a show for kids only. It's not just for children. It's for everyone, mommies, daddies, the whole family. It is time for the whole family, basically. So don't say, oh, I'm not a child. I'm still a child, but sometimes you can be like, oh, I'm not a child. It's a show for children. No, that is not true. It's a show. Yes, we focus more on children and maybe children talk and all of that, but it is still for everybody. And also the show is open for sponsorship. You have kid-friendly goods and services that you would love to advertise to our wonderful audience on your behalf. Please reach out to the marketing phone number displaying on your screen. Thank you. So last week on the show, it was an exciting time as well. We had our storytelling segment. This show is divided into 4 segments. We have the storytelling segment, which is number 1, and then secondly we have the current affairs and grammar segment. The storytelling segment is by Ewa Oluwa, and the second the current affairs and grammar by Sofiat Hassan. She also does word of the day. And then the third segment, we have the safety healthy living segment by yours sincerely, and the final segment we play game if time permits. And as the show go on, we're going to drop a riddle for our wonderful audience, and you get a chance to win data gifts courtesy of Veracious Pay. So stick with the show, because you never know when the riddle is going to come on. The fact this time around, you never know. It is when you watch, as you're watching, that is when the riddle will just pop up. So last week we had our winner as well, Chris Emma Olamilekon. He has been a winner for the longest time, but I wonder who is going to go home with our data gift this morning. So just stick around, because it's about to be fun. This morning again, we're kicking it with the storytelling segment by Ewa, and we're going to do that right after this break. So don't go anywhere. It's still Kiddies Arena. Call everybody and tell them it is time for Kiddies Arena on Radio Afinju. We'll be right back.
my dear mo fẹ́ kọ́ máa tí mi wá máa gbé lọ́dọ̀ wa kó lè máa ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́.
ràn mí lọ́wọ́ fún kí ni jàre.
kó lè máa ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́ náà ni.
tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbéyàwó tán ní kọ́ máa tí ẹ̀ wá máa ràn mí lọ́wọ́ kó má wá o.
yóò wá o.
àní kò lè wá.
yóò wá o.
àní kò lè wá sẹ́.
ẹ tí ì rí nǹkan kan ẹbí aláyọ̀ lẹ́tọ̀ tí yóò máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ìgbéyàwó nínú ilé nínú ẹbí láàrin olólùfẹ́ méjì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. àwọn ọ̀jìnmí tí ó máa túkọ̀ ètò náà ni Bùkọ́lá Ọláwùmí àti Àfíìsì Oyinmọmọ àárín aago 2 sí 3 ọ̀sán gbẹ̀rẹ́ ni. ẹ wò ó ẹbí aláyọ̀ lẹ́bí wa.
màìjà mi olólùfẹ́ mi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mi náà ṣì ní kóòdù rẹ.
èmi náà làdáptọ̀ rẹ̀.
You can drive your toothbrush, do it every day to fight against decay. You may not drive a truck, you may not drive a bus, but you can drive your toothbrush, do it every day to fight against decay. Your teeth will feel so clean, you'll see your smile beam with the brush, 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 brush. If you do it right, your teeth will stay nice and white. Let's have
Welcome back to the show. The song I was playing is telling you to go and brush your teeth. This is after 10. I'm sure some people they've not brushed and they've eaten round 1, round 2 by this time. So you better go and brush your teeth before you even head out to play or do anything. First thing in the morning, you brush your teeth. Okay, so back to Kiddies Arena. It's time for story. I wonder what Ewa has for us this morning. Ewa, what do you have for us?
All right, good morning once again.
Good morning.
Today's story is titled The Stranger in the Garden. The Stranger in the Garden. And today we don't have to go too far out with our imaginations because I really put you guys to the test last week. But don't worry, we are coming back. Let's start. Once upon a time, there was a man who had a big garden. He had planted many fruit trees and cared for them till they bore fruits. Now, he wanted to harvest the fruits and sell them to make money for his family. One fine day, while picking the fruits with his son, the man saw a stranger sitting on the branch of a tree and picking fruits. The man became angry and shouted, "Hey you, what are you doing on my tree? Aren't you ashamed of stealing?" The stranger sitting on the branch looked at the gardener, but didn't reply, and continued picking the fruits. The gardener was very angry at this point and shouted again, "For a whole year I have taken care of these trees. You have no right to take the fruits without my permission, so come down at once." The stranger on the tree answered, "Oh my goodness, why should I come down? This is the garden of God, and I am the servant of God, so I have the right to pick these fruits. You should not interfere with the work of God and his servants." This reply,
the audacity is the audacity is something else.
I'll reserve my comment till the end. The gardener was very surprised at his answer and thought of a plan. He told the stranger to come down from the tree. As the stranger climbed down the tree, the gardener tied him to the tree. The gardener tied him to the tree and began beating him with a stick. The stranger began to scream, "Why are you beating me? You have no right to do this." The gardener paid no attention and continued beating him. The stranger screamed, "Don't you fear God? You are beating an innocent man." You're going to love the gardener's answer. The gardener answered, "Why should I fear? This wood in my hand belongs to God, and I am a servant of God.
Wow.
You shouldn't interfere with the work of God and his servant." The stranger hesitated and then spoke. "Wait, don't beat me. I am sorry for taking the fruits. This is your garden and I should seek your permission before taking the fruits. So please forgive me and set me free." The gardener smiled and said, "Don't use God's name to justify your ill conceived actions. Then the gardener untied him and let him go free. There are plenty morals to take from this story, but the main one that was here is don't try to reap where you did not sow. But another thing I learned, a lot of people actually do this in today. They try to use God's name to like get what they want and manipulate people to use. Even though they didn't do anything to deserve it, they'll be like, it's God that sent this to me, this, that. And it's something you should, it's not a good habit. It's a bad habit that people still emulate it today. I don't know why. But if you're listening to this, please do not become like that. You need to, as we have mentioned it on this show so many times, if you want something, you have to work for it. If you want God to like crown your efforts, you have to at least make an effort before He can, you have worked, this is your reward. But don't say, because God will just bring everything to me, I'll just sit and do whatever I like and then go and take where I didn't work. It doesn't work like that. So that's today's story. The stranger in the garden.
Thank you, Awa, for the story. I know what else the story reminds me of people who, after doing something bad, they say it's the devil's handwork. Because what do you mean? You made a conscious decision to carry out an action, and the only reason you're even blaming the devil is because you were caught. Because when you were doing it, you didn't think, listen, I'm doing this devil's handwork. I should stop doing it. No. But the moment you got caught, you don't know what came over you. It's the devil's handwork. It's for an action that you sat down, thought it through. You already planned the lie that you're going to lie if you should get caught. So we should be more mindful of our actions, so that you don't have to say, it's God that provided this one, so I have to do whatever I like. Because that garden now in our story, it's somebody's garden. Even though the land, of course, the earth is the Lord's and its fullness, but still somebody took a seed, planted it in the garden, watered that garden, ensured that pests don't eat the fruit of that garden. But then you, out of nowhere, you just thought, you know what, I'm just going to say God. After all, it's God that created the land, it's God that created the seed. And then you climb onto someone's tree without asking. And this is also something that you could have just asked, can I want to eat some fruits. In fact, this thing happens sometimes. We have children from schools, as you're going home, you have trees in maybe various compounds, and then you climb someone's tree because you don't even know if they want the fruits of that tree. I'm sure whoever owns the tree, of course they planted it for a reason, but then we have children climbing up trees that they are not supposed to climb, trees that belong to people, and then you have the owners having to chase them around. I mean, a lot of things can go wrong. You can fall off while you're trying to run away, you can injure yourself. But in a situation where you ask politely, where you say, can I climb the tree, or can I pluck off some fruit? I'm sure it's something almost everyone has experienced. I have experienced it while I was young. Anytime I'm coming back from school, there used to be this is it cover, this fruit tree that usually have the seed thing inside. I think it's guava. So you just have to ask, and they will let you. They most of the time allow you, instead of going up there without seeking permission. So don't reap where you did not sow. Okay, so that's for the story segment by Ewa. Thank you. And right about now, we're going into the grammar segment by Sophia. So what do you have for us this morning, Sophia?
This morning, good morning once again. This morning, last week we stopped under common errors in English language, and we have so many errors. And I thought we'll be continuing from where we stopped last week. We're also going to review some of the common errors we are very prominent to make while speaking or while writing as well. Last week we mentioned the wrong use of I used to. It is not I used to, it is I used to. I will mention we did a lot of common errors that we used to make, and the correct way we should say it. And this morning will be continue from where we stopped, like I said earlier. So let's look about this common error some of us make. It states that the correct use of one, one, or one one-on-ones. How do we use these words? In what sentences do we use them? So let's go into it. He, she, him, or her must be used to refer to the to the word one previously used. Like, it's not like you're having one already starting your sentence and you're continuing your sentence and you go and use the pronoun he, she, her, him. It's very wrong. So far you're starting your sentence already with one, then you probably in continuing it you have one-on-ones with it. So an example of that, it is wrong to say before one says something he must study the situation carefully. Before one says something he must study the situation carefully. It is very wrong, because we have before one says something, the it there should not be there because we are already starting our sentence with one already. Before one says something he must study the situation carefully. So it is wrong to say that. So the right way of saying that is whenever we have one or once, O-N-E apostrophe S, not O-N-C-E in this situation, O-N-E apostrophe S. So whenever we have it starting our sentence, so it's going to be that example is going to be before one says something one must study the situation carefully. Before one says something one must study the situation carefully. So what we are trying to explain here is that one is already starting our sentence, so in continuing that sentence we don't have to use any pronoun he, she, him, her, it, anyone it is. We don't have to use any pronoun, so you have to continue that sentence using one. I hope that is very clear. So it is wrong to say before one says something he must study the situation carefully. That is very wrong. And another common error is the use of one another. When do we use one another? So let's start by saying one another is a reciprocal pronoun. That refers to two or more people who are interacting with each other. Like, it refers to two or more people who are interacting with each other, often in a mutual or reciprocal way. So whenever I want to use one another in a sentence to complete a sentence, when we are saying or writing a sentence, we must try and consider the fact that is it emphasizing on the relationship between two or more people? It also has to imply a mutual reciprocal action, like they are doing it together, collaboratively together. They are cooperating with each other to work together to achieve that common aim and common goal. It is often used to describe actions that involve give and take. It involves give and take, sharing or mutual support. So that's when we have one another. An example of that is the two friends helped one another with their homework. The two friends, they are working together, they are collaborating together to achieve the aim of having their homework done. So that's when you have one another. And we have the team members supported one another. So that's it. So one another is used for the action, the mutual understanding happening between two or more people to achieve a common aim and a common goal. So another one that we misuse together is each other. Some of us don't know differentiation between difference between one another and each other. So we use each other for actions involving only two people. Each other is used for actions involving only two people. So the two boys greeted themselves. John and James were fighting. Each other is used for actions involving only two people. Like they slapped each other. Like it's involving only two people. You don't have three people. They are not working together to achieve a mutual support or a common aim. So that's when we use each other. But one another is just two or three people working together for mutual understanding to achieve a common aim and a common goal. So themselves. When do we use themselves in a sentence? Themselves is used to emphasize that a group of people, or more than one person, performed an action. Like a group of people, they are performing an action together without help from others. Like it's just them alone. They are not having any help from others. They are on their own initiative and on their own efforts. They are working for themselves without anybody. Like this example now, the researchers conducted the experiments themselves. That means the researcher as a group conducted the experiments without help from anybody else. So that is when we use themselves. We have people working together collaboratively without seeking help from any other person, any other source, but they are working together to achieve a common aim and a common goal as well. Like the company designed the software themselves. The company did not have anybody from any other company to work with them to achieve that common goal. We have another one. The use of the one Aunty Pearl said last week. Every day, the one that would not have space, and that every day that would have space in between. When do we use them? Every day, the one without space. Every day, the one that's written together, is an adjective that describes something as ordinary, something that is a routine, and something that is common. It refers to things that are familiar, normal, and encountered regularly in our daily life. This is something we do almost every day, like in our everyday lives. Like every day is used to describe common activities, like something that is very regular, something that we are familiar with, something that we cannot do without doing them. We have like eating, sleeping, and working. And we have ordinary objects, like objects we see around. That is we also use something like everyday objects, everyday stuff, everyday things like that. We have everyday objects like chairs, tables, and pens. We have routine habits. We have normal language, everyday language, the way we speak English. So that is when we use everyday together. And in sentence now, I wear everyday clothes to work. Another example, eating breakfast is an everyday habit. This is talking about habits, routine, things we are very familiar with. That is when we use everyday that does not have space. Then the everyday that now has space, every is written separately and there's a gap before the day. This is an adverbial phrase that means each day. Like we are talking about duration, we are talking about day. Now we are not talking about normal routine, we are talking about probably minutes, hours, the summation of hours and minutes to give us 24 hours. That's a day. One day. So that is each day, daily, without exception. Each day is the right word to describe it. That space and day. Okay. Like it's something that you do daily. Like I exercise every day. So it's like a space. It's something you cannot do without in a day. So there's going to be space between that every and day. And another one, the store is open every day except Sunday. The store is open every day except Sunday. So we are saying, okay, they open from Saturdays to Monday to Saturday again, rather, without Sunday. So they don't open on Sunday. And we have every day implies a regular and consistent schedule. Like you're very used to it. You do it every day on a daily basis. It describes actions or activities that occur daily. Like it occurs daily. It is often used to emphasize the frequency or regularity of an action. So this is just talking about hours and day, that every with space day. While every day it's an adjective that describes something ordinary. It describes routine or something common. It does not tell us how frequent they or how regular whatever we are doing happen. So I hope we get the difference. I'll try to
remember that.
I'll get the difference now. So there are lots of common errors. Hopefully by next week we will still continue, and if not, we'll promise another fun section under the grammar.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And before we continue with current affairs, Ewa, what's the riddle of the day?
Okay, the riddle for today, I don't think it will be very easy to get, but
stop giving easy riddles. I feel the riddles we give here are too simple, because before the show ends, somebody already has the answer. Let's make it a little bit. Let's make it a little bit thought provoking, that you have to think. Because that's the essence of riddles. Riddles are meant to make you ruminate. They are meant to make you think that what could the answer be. Don't make it in plain sight that everybody can easily figure.
Okay.
Yes. It's not wickedness.
I'm going to change it for what you said there. Okay. Today's riddle. I'm often red, sometimes yellow, and occasionally green. What am I?
Is it banana?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Shall I say it again?
Yes.
I am often red, sometimes yellow, and occasionally green. What am I?
Okay. I'm often red, sometimes yellow, and occasionally green. What am I? That's the riddle of today, and I wonder who the winner is going to be, because our winner is going on with data gift courtesy of Veracious Way. Okay, let's move on to current affairs.
So this morning I thought Aunty Pearl would say we should go on a short break, but since
we should don't go to current affairs, yes. So we'll be going on a thank you for reminding me, we should be going on a break around, because once you start current affairs the time runs fast after that. All right, so we'll go on a very short break. We'll be right back. Kiddies Arena is still on Radio Afinju.
The baby of a dog. A tadpole is the baby of a frog. A foal is the baby of a donkey or a horse. And a little baby cat is a kitten, of course. Elephants and cows have a baby calf. So does a seal and a whale and a giraffe. A cub is a baby lion, tiger, wolf, or bear. And a fawn is the baby of a deer. Those animal babies are so cute. I'm sure their mamas and their papas think so too. They bring a lot of happiness to you and to me. It's so much fun to watch them grow, wouldn't you agree? Caterpillar is a baby butterfly, and little baby fish are known as fry. Baby bees are larvae, and baby ants are too. And a joey is the baby of a kangaroo. A baby bird or chicken is called a chick, and a baby goat is called a kid. A sheep has a baby called a lamb,
and a human baby is a child, that's what I am.
Those
Okay, you're welcome back from that short break. It's still Kiddies Arena on Radio Afinju. Before we go into the current affairs segment, Mustafa Olaide Olifa. Is it Olifa or Olifa? Okay, Mustafa Olaide Olifa is saying to us on Facebook that well done. Thank you, Mustafa, for joining us this morning. Good to have you as well on the show. So we're going straight into current affairs now by Sophia. So Sophia, what have you?
This morning we have left tribes and the languages this morning. Let's talk about the formation of the Midwestern region in Nigeria. So before I go for that, the Midwestern region of Nigeria consists of the present day Delta and Edo states. The present day Delta and Edo states.
I was about to ask you that because I get confused.
So the Midwestern region was a significant administrative division in Nigeria, created on August 9, 1963. Well, Ewa, where were you? So the region was carved out of the Western region, largely due to the efforts of Chief Anthony Enauro and other prominent politicians from the area. The creation of the Midwestern region was a response to the demands for greater autonomy and representation by the people of the area. The agitation for a separate region began in the 1950s, even before independence, when the people of the Western region, particularly those from the present-day Delta and Edo states, they were part of the Western region before they started agitating for a separate region, started demanding greater autonomy and representation. The region was characterized by a diverse population, with various ethnic groups including the Urobo, Ishoko and Edo people. That's another tribe on its own, apart from the ones we've treated already.
Despite that, they are mostly from the same region. They're like different
languages. The region's economy was also distinct, with a strong focus on agriculture, fishing and trade. the people of the region felt that their interests were not being adequately represented in the Western region, leading to the demand for a separate region. After years of agitation, the Nigerian government finally created the Midwestern region on August 9, 1963. So the Midwestern region was created August 9, 1963. That could be our next question though. The region comprised the present-day Delta and Edo states, with Benin City as its capital. The creation of the Midwestern region was a significant development in Nigeria's history, marking a shift in the country's administrative structure. The region was granted a degree of autonomy with its own government and administration. The creation of the Midwestern region had a significant impact on Nigeria's history. The region played an important role in country's politics, economy, and culture. The region's economy continued to grow with a focus on agriculture, fishing, and trade. The region also produced prominent politicians, including Chief Anthony Enoro, who played a key role in Nigeria's independence movement. The Midwestern region also contributes to Nigeria's cultural development, with the region's rich cultural heritage influencing the country's music, art, and literature. The formation of the Midwestern region was a significant event in Nigeria's history. The region's creation marked a shift in the country's administrative structure, granting greater autonomy, that is, more power to the people of the region. The region played an important role in Nigeria's politics, economy, and culture, contributing to the country's growth and development. Today, the legacy of the Midwestern region continues to shape the lives of the people of Delta and Edo states, serving as a reminder of the importance of autonomy, representation, and self-determination. So there were certain times that, okay, Western region, they are not giving us more power to decide on our own.
Because most of the time, people focus on just Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. Meanwhile, there are lots of other. They aren't even. I won't even call them a minority, because they are not a minority tribe. Yeah. Just that we just have like three major tribes. Because come to think of it, even in primary school, when they're talking about tribes, they mostly just talk about tribes in Nigeria, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and it ends there. Meanwhile, there are like hundreds of tribes with hundreds of languages, hundreds of traditions and culture, hundreds of food. So it doesn't just end there. So it is important that especially in this current affairs segment, I love this current affairs segment so much, because it shines a light on some of these things that by omission we don't learn them in school, so that you have an idea that, okay, this is what this thing actually exists, without being told. You will just think, you can go out there and think it's just 3 tribes in Nigeria, not knowing that there are more than that. So yes, thank you so much.
And that is all for current affairs this morning. Our word for the day is very special, because if I spell it, the pronunciation is different from the spelling a little bit. So the word of the day is spelled ENNUI. ENNUI.
Ewa, you pronounce it.
I know you already.
Okay.
It's ennui.
Ennui. That's ennui. That is very correct. Our word for the day is pronounced ennui. ENNUI. Ennui.
ENNUI.
It is a noun, and it means a feeling of loneliness and boredom, a lack of interest or excitement. This is the total opposite of our word for the day for last week. Our word of the day for last week was euphoria, where we talk about excitement and enthusiasm. But today is ennui, where it means loneliness, boredom, a lack of interest or excitement. So let's have that in an example.
Ennui. I wonder when I can use this word in my vocabulary. Because I'm sure when I'm saying it, the person will be like, what are you what are you saying? But one of these days I'm going to use that when I'm speaking or when I'm talking. Okay, so ennui.
So let's have ennui in a sentence. After a few months of doing the same job, he started to feel ennui and was looking for a change. Like he was tired of doing the job over and over. And sometimes you get tired of even repeating the same thing over and over. Just feel like, I'm tired of this whole thing. So he was feeling ennui because he has been doing the job for a couple of months without changing it. So synonyms, words that are very similar to ennui. Probably you feel ennui, it's so hard to pronounce. So you can use words like boredom, apathy, lethargy. We have lack of excitement, and we have a lot of that. And we have antonyms, opposites in meaning. That we have enthusiasm, we have excitement, we have energy, and we have interest. And that is all for my section this morning. Word of the day, grammar and current affairs.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sure those watching and listening to us, they've also learned not only a new word but also about the Midwestern region of Nigeria, and also common grammar errors and mistakes that we make, and how to properly use certain words or certain certain words in sentences. So thank you for that. Right about now, it is my segment, which is our safety and healthy living segment. Last week I started a series on things to know as schools resume. It is our understanding that some schools resumed last week, some will be resuming this Monday. So I didn't complete some of the things I was listing last week, so I'm just going to conclude that this morning. But a quick run through from what I said last week. I mentioned that some of the things you should know as schools resume: review academic progress. I made a note to parents especially to review children's academic progress and know the areas in which they can improve. Establish a study routine. Routines are important because it prepares your brain to know what is next. You know what is next. You're not left stranded, and you don't have to do things in a hurry because you already have a routine. Also, prioritize your health and hygiene. Take care of yourself. Ensure that when you go to school, you are properly dressed, you take your bath, you brush your teeth. I mean, it's not just for yourself, it's for the people around you as well. And then I mentioned encourage open communication, especially with parents and children. I mean, something happened during the course of the week with a teacher and a child. The teacher was abusing the child. He was hitting that child, and this is just a toddler, 3 or 4 years old. I mean, there's a possibility this has been going on for the longest time, and the parents are not aware because there's no communication between children and parents. I mean, anytime your child comes back from school, how was your day? What happened in school today? What did your teacher do? Ask them questions. It doesn't just end with how was school. Ask them specific questions so that it can prompt them to go into details of what is going on. If that particular incident had not been captured on camera, the world wouldn't have known that, okay, this is that's what that child has been having to go through in a place where it should be learning. So always encourage open communication with your children. And that's where I stopped last week. So today, my next tip for you is support extracurricular activities. Now, when I talk about extracurricular activities, I'm not talking about lesson. No. Extracurricular activity is not just lesson. After school, you still call lesson teacher. Imagine they've stayed in school from, let's say, maybe 7 or 8 and some close by 4. And then 6 o'clock, when they get home, 6 o'clock again, lesson teacher comes. Come on. They should do other things as well. They should have extracurricular activities. Maybe they play sports. Sports are good. Yes, children should play sports. They should just do other things too. In as much as they are learning, they are also kind of they are also kind of warming up their brain for the next academic day, for the next school day. So it doesn't just have to be all school books, because they still have homeworks that they are doing. So try to encourage other extracurricular activities outside of homework. Then learn responsibility and time management. As children, you're never too young to learn all these things, because what it does is helps you to prepare for adulthood, trust me, when you learn it as young as you are, when you grow old, it is easier for you to manage your time and manage other activities that you have to do. And then next is monitor. Okay, this is for parents. Monitor digital and social media usage. This cannot be overemphasized. It cannot be overemphasized. We need to know what our children are doing online. You need to be aware. You can't afford to say they are just watching cartoons. There are some cartoons that are for adults. I hope you know that. There are some adult cartoons. So just because it is an animation doesn't mean it is good for kids or it's worthy for kids. No, you have to pay attention to these things and also monitor social media usage in such a way that, I'm not saying you should seize their phones, but YouTube, for instance, there is YouTube for kids. You can set it up in such a way that they only show kid-friendly or kids-appropriate shows whenever they go online. Other social media platforms as well, when you're opening social media platform, they ask you, okay, what's your age? They want to know, so that they want to know the kind of content to show you, right? So ensure that social media usage is limited, and not just for parents, you as a child as well. You don't want to get too engrossed with social media usage. Focus more on the most important things. I mean, if you don't have to spend hours online, you can just maybe 1 or 2 hours of your day. You don't just stay there and TikTok morning, afternoon, night. You know what I'm talking about. So monitor your social media usage. And then second to the last, ensure proper rest and nutrition. Again, this cannot be overemphasized. Ensure that you are resting as much as you're learning and doing extracurricular activities and doing other things as well. Ensure that you go to bed as at when due. Ensure that you're also eating balanced diet, because all these are important for your learning progress. When you eat properly, when you eat a balanced diet, your body functions in its maximum capacity. And then finally, encourage a positive attitude towards learning. Learning is supposed to be fun. I mean, here we are. It's already 1 hour in on Kiddies Arena, and we have been learning, and it's fun. Nobody is tired. Nobody is bored, because we are making it fun for ourselves. So always encourage a positive attitude towards learning. Learning should not be stressful. Not anytime they tell you, oh yeah, go and bring your assignment, you start grumbling and you start hitting your feet on the ground. Why? Because you don't find it fun. And also for teachers as well, when you're teaching, try to make it fun for children, and you as a child as well, ensure that you always have a positive outlook towards learning, because when you're always excited to learn, you grasp things easier. It's more easy for you to understand whatever your teacher is teaching you. So these are the few tips. I hope you find them helpful. So as schools resume, all of this is meant to help you ensure that you are at the top of your game in this new term. So I wish you all the very best as you carry on with your academic activities. And that will be all for my segment this morning. We'll see a few minutes left, so we're going to play games. We didn't play game last. Did you play game last week?
We did two truths and a lie.
Okay, we did 2 truths and a lie.
We learned some very interesting things.
Like me not knowing how to swim. Okay, so we did 2 truths and a lie last week. What are we doing this morning?
Should we continue? Because I feel like there's more stuff you want to.
You just say you want to know some of our secrets. Okay, 2 truths and a lie. Let's see. Who is starting? Because I can't think of anything right now. So I think somebody else.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll start then. I have classes from Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
I can't think of much right now. Okay. I have worked at least 2 jobs before, and I need a new phone.
Okay. I think the second one is the lie. You said you've worked. I honestly can't even think. You don't need a new phone. I changed my answer.
I don't know. You have classes. That's the truth.
Okay.
The third one. I'll go with the second one.
Sophia is correct.
I don't want to know.
I'm not done. I do need a new phone in case any of our listeners like want to,
in case you want to get a new phone. Okay. Let me go next. Okay. I skipped primary 5 and 6. I've always hated apples, and I never liked broadcasting.
I'm going to say C.
What's C?
The third one, that you never liked broadcasting. Because skipping 5 and 6 is common.
Are you sure? Okay. Yeah.
Skipping 5 and 6 is common. Okay. I have not met a single soul that does not like.
Okay, so final answer.
But I took 5 and 6.
What? Okay, final answer.
I'll go with never liked broadcasting.
That's also my answer.
That should be the last.
Okay, that was easy because you're both correct. Okay, so next, Sophia.
I can't think of anything. Just switch it.
Okay, we're just going to skip. Hopefully next week you get to come up with something, and that's where we are drawing the curtain today.